Yeah, check 1 2, check 1 2. Is this mic on? Is this mic on? Hey, listen, man, it's the one and only trendsetter DJ Sense, and you're listening to CockTales, dirty discussions with Kiki and Medinah Monroe. Yeah.
Today's cocktail is called the OMGG. The ingredients you need to make an OMGG is 250 milliliters of Tanqueray London Dry Gin, 200 milligrams, 200 milligrams or milliliters? Milliliters. 200 milliliters of elderflower and 1 liter of cloudy apple juice. So, and some apple slices and some ice to serve. So you're going to, in a jam jar, mix the gin with the elderberry. When ready to serve, divide the mixture between 8 glasses to top up with apple juice, the apple slices, and ice, and have a OMGG.
You know what they say about gin. Gin makes you sin.
It sure does.
Welcome back to Cocktails Dirty Discussions, you guys. I'm Kiki Said So.
Hey, y'all. I'm Medinah Monroe.
And what have you been up to?
I've just been living my little life. I had a really great one. I have a lot to talk about, but we do have a guest this week. But Kiki, what you been up to?
We can save it for another episode because I do want to get to chatting with our guest.
Me too.
We actually were on her podcast recently. We have Gigi Maguire with us today. How are
girls.
you? Hey.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited.
Thanks for coming.
I'm so excited to have you. I didn't realize how excited I was until I had talked to my girlfriend, Jessica.
Mm-hmm.
We were in Tulum and she actually brought you up. Yeah. She was like, you and Kiki were on lip service. That was so dope. Do you know about Gigi Maguire? And I was like, well, I don't know all the things. I knew she was a dancer. She was like, oh, no. No, she's not just a dancer. She is the Beyonce of strippers.
Okay.
I said, wait, what? She talked about
ma'am.
your last dance and how epic it was. And I said, I hope we could get you on the show. So I'm so glad that you were able to come so last minute.
Listen, I'm one phone call away. It took me about 30 minutes to get here, girl, from the house.
So, that's not too bad. Thank you for coming.
Yes, of course. Thanks for having me.
So we went on lip service and we're still in the middle of our tour, you guys. So when we were in New York for the Sony Hall show, we went that day or the day after. So if you guys haven't checked out their episode, make sure you do.
It was good. I love when it's like girl talk. And just
that's exactly what it was. You know, And then the reading of the document, the Google Doc was real. Everyone was like, this is not real. I was like, it was real. I didn't expect to get read, but it did.
Good. That was good.
But Gigi, for some of our listeners, before we dive into our game, I'm curious to know, let some of our listeners know a little bit about yourself. They probably are familiar with you, but just in case.
So I am Gigi Maguire, Miss Show Me the Money. I used to be your favorite stripper. I guess in some sense I still am. I became popular. I don't like to use the word famous because I feel like I haven't really reached my full fame potential. But I'm on the way. Stick around. You'll see. But I became popular at Magic City. Really long story short, I came here literally from Philly the day of Hurricane Katrina. I was running from an abusive man who had attempted my life. And I just needed a restart. I needed a new surroundings, new atmosphere. And literally by the roll of a dice, I just ended up here in Atlanta with nobody. I had a friend that I came down with and she was working at Magic City and she used to always tell me to come down here and work with her when she was coming back and forth. But she was a thicky girl and I was 110 pounds in an A cup and I was just like,
Like, am I going to be making money like you?
I'm going to stay in the champagne room because I don't think them down south going to like me. You know, I don't think them men down there going to want this. And so I ended up doing Magic City's Amateur Night contest. And before I won, because I won, but before I won, I was approached by the owner himself and offered a entertainer position on the spot.
Mr. Magic.
Big Match. My daddy. Yeah. So from there, I became their very first feature performer. I was paired with a girl named Fierce. And we had the famous 12 o'clock and 2 o'clock. We started that. So y'all go to Magic. So y'all know what they
attend. I should have worked at Magic. That was always my dream.
So you know how at 12 o'clock and 2 o'clock, you get Mercedes, you get Trina and the pole girls, and they all come out and do their thing. So I created that back in like 2007.
Were you always a performer? Like, did you know you could dance?
I started dance at the age of 4. Of course, not on a pole, but ballet, jazz, tap, African dance, interpretive dance. I did all of that at the age of 4. Traveled on through high school. I was a performing arts major at Franklin Learning Center. in Philly.
Mhm.
And I would have went on to go to the University of the Arts and pursue dance. My dream job when I had this dance career as a child was to be like a background dancer for tours and artists. I wanted to be like, when you see the performances on the Grammys and the BET Awards, like that's what I wanted to do growing up. And I also wanted to teach dance. So I still ended up teaching dance, just pole dance. But, and I have been in music videos and things like that. So I guess I kind of did fulfill those goals. But I got hired at Magic City. I became their featured performer. Me and this girl, she decided that she wanted to leave the club. So now I'm stuck by myself. I left the club for a while, went to Philly. I come back and I'm paired with a group of girls who had been doing pole tricks, and we became the Snack Pack. So we created what we like to refer to as the theatrical ballet. So the Snack Pack was 5 of us, but there was 3 of us who was known because the other 2 didn't want to do anything on camera or outside of the club because they were sneaky strippers. So they
like they were a little scared.
Yeah, they couldn't blow their cover because they were sneaky strippers. Like their families didn't know they danced, so it was like sneaky strippers. So it was the 3 of us, myself, Virgo, and Simone, who we affectionately refer to as my Kelly and Michelle. And yes, ma'am, because the Beyonce thing is real, honey. So the 3 of us, we are still friends. They are actually actresses on P-Valley. So I am inspired. My life as a entertainer has inspired Mercedes' character and as well as Autumn Night's character. Because Autumn Night came here the day of a storm. She was in an abusive relationship. She got hired from doing the amateur night contest. Mercedes was the head HBIC in the club. She was their it girl, and she had this dance troupe, the Trilogy, and we were the Snack Pack, 3 of us, the Trilogy. The Last Dance was her entire storyline from season 1 to the end of season 2. What did she do at the end of season 2? She took that money and opened up a pole dancing studio. I made $28,000 in 30 minutes. $28,000
30 minutes?
In 28 minutes on Magic City stage for my Last Dance, and I took that money and opened up a pole dance studio. Not too far from here. On Auburn
I don't
Avenue.
know if I really would have wanted to quit after that.
I didn't, but that's a whole nother. We got to
So
talk
wait,
about that
how
another
did
time.
you, if you wanted to dance and do like background dancing and teaching dance classes, how did you make that transition from that sort of dance to like adult?
Oh, girl, I was homeless. So I was in, not the same guy that I left Philly running from to get to Atlanta, but I was in a relationship with another guy years before, maybe 5 or 6 years before that, who attempted my life. And I left that apartment with the clothes on my back. My daughter was 3 years old at the time. I left that apartment with the clothes on my back and a diaper bag for my daughter, and I essentially had nowhere to live. I ended up in my god sister's unfinished, moldy, mildew basement, and I ended up being a drug mule. I went to Jamaica and swallowed 90 grams of heroin. I got caught on my way back because I had weed in the suitcase.
Wait a minute.
I got charged.
How did you're just saying all of this like it's not crazy. So you swallowed all this heroin.
Yes.
And then you had stuff in your suitcase.
So the mission was to go to swallow the heroin.
Okay.
For $5,000. I was 19 years old. This was in 99, right? And I was 19 years old, and I thought that this $5,000 would get me a house and a car and change my life. I didn't have anything.
Yeah.
When I got there, they're like, okay, we'll give you another $2,500 if you take this suitcase with this weed in it. So I'm like, okay, shit, $7,500.
That's even better.
Right. And when I got to the airport, they knew from the suitcase that it was something in it, and they literally put me on a plane knowing that I was
about to get caught.
Now, the mistake that I made was grabbing the suitcase off of the turnstile. If I would have left that suitcase there and just went about my business, then they didn't have nothing on me. But as soon as I grabbed the suitcase, it was an agent on each side of me, and they took me to the back room, honey. And still don't know, of course they don't know I had this heroin in my stomach. So I went through the whole booking process, and I was bailed out by the Jamaicans, and they literally left me bus fare and a note at the outtake or whatever when I got released. And I caught the bus from
the heroin
Queens
is still in your stomach.
I caught the bus from Queens to Harlem to some projects in Harlem, and I rang the doorbell, and this older Jamaican lady embraced me, and she fed me, and she gave me weed and something to drink, and this little concoction, and she's like, let me know when your stomach start bubbling. And I did. And she gave me a Ziploc bag, a bucket, and some gloves, and was like, rinse them off, put shit in the bucket, rinse them off as they come out, put them in a Ziploc bag, and wake me up when you're done. It took all night.
To get them out. Did it hurt?
No, but 2 of them was cracked. So there was only a matter of time before it could have killed me. So I got the money. I got the $5,000. They went to court with me every month to make sure that, I didn't tell nothing I wasn't supposed to tell and all of that. And they paid my restitution. And I didn't ever speak to them again after. My life went on. But did that money save my life? No. So I ended up stripping. Wow. I ended up stripping after that.
So the first day that you went to Magic City and you were like, okay, this is what I'm going to do.
I wanted to bartend. I was bartending. I'm a bartender. Mm-hmm. I went to bartending school in 2003. And then I went again in, I think, 2017 or 18.
And is it true when you go into like a strip club and you do just want a bartender, be a bottle girl, they're going to end up being like, hey, you should probably dance?
It's very hard to be a bartender or a bottle girl. Well, it was cocktail waitress back in the day. But
when you kind of hire from away within. With $30,000.
Yeah, they kind of hire from within when it comes to those jobs. But anybody can be a stripper. So it was me doing that amateur night contest and see him to meet and Big Match seeing me dance to be like, I want you to dance here. And I was just like, I haven't danced in 2 years. And he was like, I can't tell. That ain't what I just saw. I just saw somebody that knew what they're doing. And I need to see that on my stage every night. Trust me, this is the decision you want to make. And I told my homegirl, and she was like, bitch, you'll be dumb as hell if you don't take this position. So it changed my life. Look at it.
How did you learn how to do the pole tricks? That's what I like about magic.
Watching.
Yeah.
Practicing day shift. Coming in day shift. So when you first start dancing and you're unexperienced, they make you work day shift for most clubs for about a month or so. So I would watch the girls dance and get up there and just attempt what I saw. And I had a cousin. So when you start dancing, if you don't, first of all, there's no manual, there's no rules, there's nobody to tell you how to be a stripper. You learn from experience. It's trial and error, which is why the turnaround is so heavy. So if you don't have a big sis or somebody that, to help you kind of show you the ropes, you just are blindsided and don't know what to do. It just so happens that when I went into the club the very first night, and the first club I ever worked at in Philly is called Delilah's, I was enthralled by a girl on stage who was killing it on the pole. And just, you could tell, dancer versus dancer, I knew that she had a technical dance background as well. I could just see her poise and her technique, her flexibility, and just her showmanship, her grace and everything. So the guy, I was with an NBA player at the time, and he gave me some money to tip her. And when I got to the stage, it was my little cousin, Brandy. Yeah, her name was Kat at the time. And she had just turned 18 and had just started dancing, like literally like the day after her 18th birthday. She was like 2 weeks in. And she's like, bitch, what are you doing here? And I'm like, I want a job. What are you doing here? And she was like, I just started 2 weeks ago. I got you. And I literally started working the next day.
Wow.
And never looked back.
A dancer story.
Yeah.
I can't wait to read
Everybody has their own path to how they end up on the stage. You have the girls who are putting themselves through school. You have the girls who are single mothers. You have the girls who are taking care of family members. You have the girls who are paying for their boyfriend's rap career. You have the girls who have pimps. You have the girls who have dreams and goals and ambitions and things that they want to do. You have the girls who are addicted to drugs and they're dancing so that they can go shoot the heroin in between their toes. You just, it's over the years of me I managed a strip club, I bartended in a strip club. I've done every job besides own one and be security, honestly. I was even like fake house mom at one point. So, you see so many women and you hear so many stories and you just see just the difference that even though we all end up in the same place, we really all got here in our own right and for our own reasons.
Shout out to all the dancers. I love dancers. The first time I went to Magic City, when I first moved to Atlanta, that is literally my first girl-on-girl experience was with a woman that was, to me, she was just the god of strippers. Yes, and she was at Magic. And the way that she brought a fantasy to life, that's one thing my girlfriend Jessica had told me about you. Like, you have a way of like making a man or a woman's fantasy just come to life when they're getting a dance or watching you dance. And your last dance was like that. Before we move on getting to know Gigi, we want to play a quick little game with you. It's a game that Kiki and I created. You guys can purchase it at I'mCuriousToKnow.com. The game is called I'm Curious to Know. Okay. So we have a few questions that we're going to ask you, and then we will dive into weird sex. And then
because it's a little bit more about this last dance that I need to.
Oh, we don't get it.
We want to know. We want to know.
I'm bringing it back for the people, honey. Yes.
Okay. So I'm curious to know.
Yes.
What is your dream vacation?
Oh, so I'm a Gemini, so we don't really have a favorite anything. But I'm gonna go with like Maldives, Fiji, Bali. I like that vibe. Like I want that blue water, white sand, maybe one of those private huts over the water. Definitely, vacation. We might even bring a friend. I like threesomes and shit.
I was just gonna say, who you gonna bring on the vacation?
Yeah. I mean, it'll be vacation with whatever bay is sponsoring. Sponsoring the trip and bringing a dick. But I wouldn't mind bringing a little a little friend on the side for some fun.
Okay,
Yeah.
Gigi, I'm curious to know what is the best gift you have ever received?
The best gift I've ever received. This might sound kind of cliche, but my daughter.
That has never been anybody's answer. And we've
daughter.
asked people that had kids.
And I'm gonna tell y'all, I had my daughter at 17. I was a senior in high school. I dropped out of high school. But I will say in many instances, my daughter saved my life. Like even with the guy, when I left the apartment with the clothes on my back, she woke up and came. We were like fighting. He woke me up with a knife to my throat, and we were fighting and stuff. And she woke up, and when he saw her come into the room, he jumped back out the same window he climbed in.
Oh,
yeah,
that is
and
so
so
wild.
much of my drive and my inspiration, and the reason why I've done things that most people won't even dream of doing or think about fathoming to make a reality is because I have this little girl. And she's 27 right now, but I've had this little girl who I was responsible for. Her father died 5 days after her second birthday. So it's just been me and her. She's the only child, and it's just been me and her. So I feel like, I could have said a gift, a car, whatever, but monetary gifts and material gifts don't compare to the gift of life. And she's my only child. I never had another baby. I was pregnant a few times after that. I made decisions, and there was decisions made for me. I no longer can have children, even if I wanted to. Well, I could probably do it in vitro, but I naturally can't conceive right now. So I feel like just the gift of motherhood.
I love that answer.
That's so beautiful. Okay, next question.
Yes.
I'm curious to know, what's your or not your favorite? What is? How do you feel about toys during sex with someone else?
Yes, I'm here for it.
You are.
Yes,
What kind
yes,
of toys
yes,
you
yes.
like to use?
So I like everything except a dildo. I don't want fake
I don't like
penis
a
inside of
dildo
me.
either.
But
Yeah.
I'm here for anything that's vibrating and suctioning. I'm here for the anal play. I like anal.
Come on.
I like butt plugs. I like I love a guy that's not scared to use a cock ring, a vibrating cock ring. I'm here for that. I don't like nipple clamps. I have piercings and my nipples are really sensitive after having my breast done twice. Each time I get my breast done, my nipples get more sensitive and they're pierced. So my nipples are like a high erogenous zone for me. So clamps can be a little too much. I tried that before. But yeah, I'm here for the toys. I'm here for a good time.
I like toys too. Now I can't do the I don't like the nipple clamps.
Yeah.
That just hurts to
It
me.
hurts.
And the anal stuff, that really does hurt. I don't know how y'all do it.
I
don't mind a little licking, a finger.
It like makes me wetter. It's really? Yeah.
Have you ever had an anal orgasm?
Yes.
Girl.
And like I was like, I didn't know this was possible.
I didn't either until it happened.
And it
I
feels
was like
so
outer
good.
body. It was the most intense orgasm I ever had in my life. It happened
So
to me
you like it
twice
better
or
than a
3 times.
vaginal one? Or a clitoral one?
It's only happened to me probably 2 or 3 times. But it's not even that I like it better. It's just a different. It's like the difference between the clitoral and the internal, and then this is like next level from that.
It's different.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm curious to know. Now, I just made this up. This ain't on one of the cards, but I want both of y'all to answer. What is your drink order at Starbucks?
Oh, girl, I'm an oat milk latte with an extra shot of espresso.
Come on,
Vanilla.
It depends for me. Right now, I guess my classic drink is a grande iced caramel macchiato with almond milk. I want an extra shot of espresso and an extra pump of vanilla.
Come on, girl.
I'll be all cracked out on my
Yeah.
Starbucks. I love it.
Mine is a grande dirty chai tea latte with almond milk, light ice.
So dirty chai tea is coffee and tea.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And it is so, because I like the chai tea.
Yeah, I'm gonna
but
try that.
every now and again, I need the wake up. So
I'm
you
gonna
can
try
add
that.
espresso in. It's called dirty chai. I learned that
I'm
a few
gonna try
months
that.
ago.
I'm gonna try
Have
that with
you-
some oat milk.
Have you tried the chai one with the pumpkin cream stuff, pumpkin spice?
The pumpkin,
Cream.
I think I got the pumpkin spice chai
I'm not a
latte.
Yes.
I didn't love it.
You didn't?
Yeah,
I
I'm
like
not
it
a
with
pumpkin
2
spice
shots of the
girl.
espresso.
I'm not
I
a pumpkin
like
spice girl.
it.
Honestly, I'm a tea girl. I've been drinking tea all my life. My mother was an herbalist, so I grew up eating dried fruit and chocolate covered raisins and chocolate covered pretzels as snacks, trail mix as snacks.
I love that. That's why you still look good.
Yeah, it's still
and
sunshine.
you know, I've continued. Now, I did have my stint in my 20s and early 30s where I ate all of the BS, but I currently don't eat any fast food or processed foods. I cook a lot of my meals. I don't eat at too many restaurants because I don't trust people handling my food. I worked at enough of them to know like what they be doing behind closed doors, behind that wall that you can't see. They be dropping shit, picking it up, and not
Tasting
washing
it.
their hands, and it's just disgusting.
Suckling fingers.
But yeah, I'm a tea girl, but I was in a relationship 2 years ago with someone who has a Starbucks addiction. And
don't we all?
Well, I didn't.
I didn't. It's
I didn't.
bad.
And dealing with him, he literally went to Starbucks like 3 times a day.
And then the rewards, it's funny because if you're with the Starbucks rewards, they'll literally have like a promo going where it's like, order this 2 times a day and I was always like, who the fuck is coming here 4 times a day? There's actually
my ex. And I was always getting medicine ball. I medicine balled myself to death when I started drinking lattes, and now here we are. I drink coffee every day
talking
now.
about it on CockTales.
I'd be buying the little pods for my Nespresso coffee maker at home and making the stuff at home. I buy the syrups, I buy the flavors, everything.
Yes,
I am addicted. It's bad.
I love it. Okay, we're gonna move on to weird sex, and then when we get back, we're gonna get to know Gigi Maguire a little bit more.
What's up, you guys? So by now you know that I recently had surgery. I'm sure I've complained your ears off about it. I stayed in a hospital, but do you know that I couldn't take a shower? So I was starting to develop a bit of an odor in my room, and I didn't share the room with anybody, but I started to panic when it was time for me to go home, and a little man was picking me up. Well, not a little man, but a man was picking me up, and I was like, I know I'm coming from the hospital, but who wants to smell like hospital? Well, luckily for me, I packed my Lumi deodorant wipes in my little luggage. I had all the Lumi deodorants. I was putting it in between my legs. I put it in my armpits. I put it on my neck. I put it in between, like on the other side of my elbow. I mean, I was just putting it on all the nooks and crannies because I wanted to smell fresh. And so the first thing I said whenever I got in the car was like, do I smell like hospital? And he said, no, you smell good. Actually, I thought you couldn't take a shower. He didn't even know. I couldn't take a shower. I just used Lumi deodorant. You guys have got to try out Lumi deodorant. It is so good. They have so many different products, different scents.
And that was such a great example of how you would need to use it. And you would never think of that. That's why I say always stay strapped with one of your Lumi products. They do have a whole stick deodorant. They have lotion. They have wipes. Like
if you can shower, they have body wash.
They have body wash. And it's just like, listen, you guys, body odor is real, and every now and again you get a little stanky. Some of us more than others, but we don't want to stink at all.
Right, you don't. And you just always want to feel fresh, smell fresh, and it makes you feel confident. So if you are new to Lumi deodorant and there are a whole lot of products, then you're in luck. Our listeners are able to get 40% off, which equates to about $5 off of a new starter kit. And it's only for new customers. You go to lumideodorant.com and you use our code CockTales, that's CockTales, and get your starter pack today.
And you guys, the starter pack comes with a solid stick of deodorant, the cream tube deodorant, and 2 free products of your choice. That's a deal.
It really is. Like,
get your stanky butt on lumideodorant.com right now.
Click the link in the description box below.
You said a man is not a necessity, a man is a luxury, like dessert.
Yeah. A man is absolutely not a necessity.
Did you mean that to sound mean and bitter?
Oh, not at all. I adore dessert. I love men. I think men are the coolest. But you don't really need them to live.
Okay, you guys. So this week's weird sex is a woman from Florida. Surprise, surprise. I don't know what it is recently, but there have been so many women who have been getting charges because they doing trifling stuff either with kids or to their kids, right? So she didn't do anything to her kid. Like, she's not having sex with kids or anything like that, because there was a stint where we were getting lots of stories like that. And I'm like, y'all got to remember, it's not just the men who do this. But this Florida woman got arrested after she left her son, who is 11 years old, in a hotel room with a dead man following a threesome with 2 men. So listen to this. Amy Kemper, she's 32. She admitted that last week she used drugs and had a menage a trois in a room at the Hammock Beach Resort in Palm Coast, Florida. Something tells me that was not really a resort, but okay. Before she decided to leave her son there with a 60-year-old man while she left with the other men on September 9th.
They went to go
Anyway.
get more drugs.
Huh?
They went to go get more drugs.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And so she told the deputies that she thought the man was just snoring strangely. And when they returned, they found him unresponsive. He was later pronounced dead in the room by medical personnel after CPR was attempted. They found narcotics and drug paraphernalia inside of the room. Of course they did.
What kind of drugs y'all think it was?
I think it was
Crack.
a mix. I think it was definitely some meth involved.
Meth. I was thinking meth too.
I think it's always meth, especially in Florida.
Oh, were they white people?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, when you say
And apparently meth makes you really horny.
And that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
It's wild times. Anyway, she got arrested, and she's being held on a $15,000 bond. Y'all don't go get that lady. She needs to
Don't go
think
get her.
about her
Let her sit there.
decisions.
Let her
Yeah.
Hopefully
sit
someone
there.
in her family was able to get the 11-year-old and keep
Yeah,
him.
and I just wonder what he was
Because
thinking.
we don't want
Like,
the 11-year-old to end up in the system because his mom wanted to have threesomes on meth. with
right? Like,
either-
what? Where is your grandma? Anyway, that's it for weird sex. Thank
You
you
said
guys.
Florida?
Yes,
Not
Florida.
surprised.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for sending that story in. Make sure you keep sending them in. weirdsex@cocktailspod.com, or you can DM them to me.
All right, Miss Gigi.
Yes, ma'am.
What is something that you have realized that men love about you?
Then I'm a freak.
What does that mean? Because now, listen, we always got to break it down because we've had people come on here and be like, I'm a freak. And then we're like, what is that? What do you mean you're a
Some
freak?
people just mean they like to have sex a lot. I got a feeling you're not about to say that, though.
I'll probably try anything once.
Mm-hmm.
What's the wildest thing, the thing that you think is the wildest that you've actually tried and liked?
A tongue in the booty?
Oh.
Your tongue in his booty or tongue in your booty?
I'm tonguing the booty.
Wait,
I'm
now
tonguing
see,
and I'm
I like
fingering.
it. Now that's
Yeah.
something I can do. I can relate on
I'm
that.
tonguing and I'm fingering the booty.
When you're tonguing a booty hole, do you like them to lay down and just lift their legs, or you want them
Ooh,
to face down?
girl. So
ass
let me
up?
tell you, if I can get them on all fours, I feel like I hit the lottery.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
It's
that's
hard
like the
to
ultimate,
do.
That's a very vulnerable
like, because
position
that's
for
like the
them.
ultimate of vulnerability, and it puts you in such a place of power that you just got them literally by the balls. Like, yeah, sucking dick from the back. I want them all fours so I can suck their dick from the back, play with the balls, tongue in the booty all at the same time, just face all wet, just yeah. Yeah, that's probably the wildest because most people don't do that. But I've also had like a quad.
A what?
Like a foursome?
Quad, five, what is five? Cinco?
I would just call it an orgy.
Okay.
At that point.
So it was five girls, one guy, and there was only one girl that actually had sex with the guy, but the rest of the girls, we was just all over each other.
How do you even get in a position like that? Were you
It
in a
just
sex
happened.
club, or y'all were just hanging out?
It
and
just
everyone...
happened
It
where?
was a drunk night after the club. We was with, so shout out to, I have this was back in Philly way before I moved to Atlanta, probably like 02, 03, 04. And me and one of my very close friends had this homeboy that we actually referred to as girlfriend. You know how you give everybody like a name?
Mm-hmm.
So his name was girlfriend. And it's not a secret name. He knows his name was girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
But his name was girlfriend because he was literally just like one of the girls. Like he was a whole man,
Mm-hmm.
of course. He was the homie. But he just was so cool and just so in a mix with us that he was just like, sometimes people forget that he was a guy because he was just one of the girls.
Yeah.
So we all went out one time drinking, got drunk, came back
He was
in.
probably like, dang, I ain't
My
never getting no
roommate at the
pussy.
time was like eating my pussy forever. And you know, I don't even remember, it was so long ago, I don't remember how it happened, but I just know we all ended up in my room and getting to it.
Was it weird afterwards? Or everybody was
No.
just like...
So there was one girl who was a friend of my roommate who allegedly like didn't want to be involved. So she just sat in the corner the whole time and watched everything.
Now, why she didn't
Bitch,
just
you
go
know
home?
your panties is a puddle, girl.
Okay.
If you don't come lick a
Get
nipple or
in
something,
here.
girl, get over here. But she
Yeah.
literally sat there the whole time. And then there was a one girl that he actually did have sex with. But me and my other homegirl and the roommate who we referred to him as girlfriend, the three of us, none of us touched him. But it was a time.
That sounds like a wild night.
It
My
was
kind of
good.
night.
It was good.
Now, what are 3 things you look for in a man that you want to be with?
A man that child. So I am for one, I look for reciprocation.
Mm-hmm.
Match my vibes. Mirror me. And I'm gonna mirror you back.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why my last relationship didn't last, which was a whirlwind. But
Mr. 60 Day
60 Day
Fiance.
Fiance
We're going
guy.
to talk about that.
So if I'm giving, give back, you know, just balance. Like let's do each other. You know what I'm saying? Like do for me, I'll do for you, that type of thing. And in all aspects. I am a woman who looks for security. I'm not about to be taking care of no man. And I'm not about to be struggling while there's a man just sitting there and watching me struggle. I could do bad by myself.
Right.
And not to say like, oh, it's about the money and this, that, and the third, but when you are an established woman to a point in your life where you got your shit together at a certain level, it's either beat me there or meet me there. And if you can't do that, then me personally, I can't do nothing with you. And I look for honesty. These men be lying. And what men fail to realize is there are some women like myself, and I'm sure there's a lot of you women out there who we don't care. Just be honest. We might be with the shit you with. You got a baby mama, you married, okay. That bitch ain't got nothing to do with me. Be honest. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, don't feel like you got to tell me what I want to hear because you think that's what I want to hear. Tell me the truth and let me choose if I want to be involved in said relationship or situation with you. Don't blindly put me into a situation that I know nothing about. And then when the shit hit the fan, you got all types of excuses or you looking stupid as to why you couldn't tell me from the jump. You felt like I wouldn't be down enough or whatever the case may be. Let me know. Allow me to make that decision. And so many men do that. So many men lie to you and put you in these situations when you find out and the shit hit the fan, it's just like, you didn't even have to lie. Like,
you could have just been
You could have just been 100 with me and I might have been cool with the situation. More so because you was honest. But men don't see that. They think that they need to treat all women the same. And we are all not the same. Just like y'all want our pussies because they all different. We all are different, all from, head to toe in every way, through and through. Yeah.
Have you ever had a situation where somebody was honest with you? And if so, how did they present it to you to make you be okay with it? Whatever.
So by default, I guess because of my illustrious strip club days, I've been a sugar baby time and time again. And so, they were married men. And there were men who, was living with a baby mama or whatever the case may be. And at the time when I was dealing with married men, I was very young and it was all about the money. I was dancing. This was all new to me. This was early 20s. My first sugar daddy, I met him at the age of 20. He was like everything to me. And we had an extensive relationship, so point that it got so crazy that we had to like break it off because it just became too much. Like we were too close.
Now the sugar daddies you had, were they attractive? Did you actually enjoy their time, their company, or was it just the money?
There was one sugar daddy that I was never really attracted to, and he's the only one that I never had sex with. But the very first one that I was speaking of, he was everything. He was so fine. He's Caucasian, and he was so fine, and he smelled so good, and he dressed so nice, and yeah.
When you were going through that, like even during your dancing days and sugar baby days, did that ever take a toll on your mental? Because a lot of times people talk about that lifestyle in like the ways where it's like, and I'm getting everything I want. Did it ever take a toll?
Yeah,
on
and
you?
I'm gonna tell you the point where I realized, like, damn. So I was about to move here. It was a very quick decision to move here, and I ran it by current sugar daddy. This was 2005, and I'm like, I'm gonna move to Atlanta. And he's like, why? And I'm like, I just got to get away. Of course, I didn't tell him what was going on with the boyfriend because, I'm not about to tell him that. But I'm like, I just got to get away. I've decided I'm going to just leave next week. And he's like, don't go. Like, I don't want you to move. And I'm like, I have to. Like, I have to get away. Like, it was just more than just the boyfriend at the time. It was friendship problems and family problems. And I just needed a fresh start. And he's like, if you stay, I'll put you in a condo wherever you want to live. I'll buy you whatever car, Benz, whatever it is that you want. I'll pay your bills for 2 years. And you could just figure out your life, but just don't leave me. So I thought about it. I thought about staying.
I'm thinking
and
about
that
it
sounds great, right? That sounds great. But you're married.
Oh, yeah. Forgot that.
Worried about holidays. I can't have nobody in this house. You pay the bills. I won't have any freedom because you'll have my life in your hands. And then you're married. So, like, I can't even, like, be with you publicly. Like, I'm going to be alone on fucking Christmas and Valentine's Day. Like, and at the time, I was 25 years old. And I was just like, this all sounds great. And, maybe if I wasn't a mother. But I'm not about to go from this crazy situation to put myself in another crazy situation. Everything that glitter ain't gold. And that was that lesson for me in that moment. Like, it's not worth it.
All right, now listen. I didn't watch the full episode, but I watched a clip of Lip Service, and you were talking about you had met a man. You were so happy, and y'all got engaged, and you got a tattoo.
Yes.
What did you get a tattoo of?
Right here.
his name?
Mrs. his name. So technically my future name.
Mhm.
But
And
yeah.
how's that going?
We broke up. Well, I broke up with him
Why?
because I wasn't getting what I needed.
Mm-hmm.
Like he came to me with our first date, 30 minutes into our first date. It was, I want to commit to you. I've been praying for a woman like you. God sent you to me. I know that you're the one. I'm a grown ass man. I know what I want. By the end of the night, we were exchanging I love yous. I stayed with him that night.
The end of the night?
Yes. By the end of the night, we were exchanging. He said it first, so I said it back.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was a love bomb, but you know, but I
moving on vibes at that point. It's
and it was like he was everything on paper. He was fine, and he was somebody that I didn't know at the moment. Like I didn't know when I first met him that he was somebody that I had used to work for in the past. But because he looked very different, and that's a whole different story.
Mm-hmm.
But so it wasn't like he was a complete stranger first date, right? And then I'm like, okay, I basically call his bluff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you telling me all of these things and you feeding me all of this, you know, so okay, you ain't about to play in my face. What's up? Let's do it. So we committed to each other that night, and then I stayed with him a few days. By day 3, he's like, let's get married. And I'm like, are you serious? And he's like, yeah. He's like, I mean, I don't have a ring right now, but we can get one. He was like, this is me telling you that I want to be with you for the rest of my life. Let's get married. So I'm like, okay. And then we discussed the tattoo, and I went and got the tattoo 2 days later. So day 5, I got his name tattooed.
Did he get one too?
No, but we planned on matching tattoos, and we planned on a whole lot of things. We planned a destination wedding, barefoot in the sand. We just had all these plans on business things. And one of my goals is to open a restaurant, and he owns restaurants here in Atlanta. So it just all it was like puzzle pieces just fitting together. But so I spent literally 30 days with him, like nonstop. And then I work. Y'all work, you know, we hustle. We gotta go. I fly to New York for my show. So, you know, I had to fly to New York. I had to fly to Vegas. I had to do this. I had to do that. I had to come home. I have dogs. I have a child. I have a whole house. So, you know, like, okay, the honeymoon phase over. I gotta handle my business. I need to go clean my house. I need to go do some laundry. I need to see my dogs. Like, you know, I need to do some things that does not involve laying up in your space. And when I left, things just changed. It was like once I wasn't up under him no more, it was like out of sight, out of mind. And it got really one-sided to where as though I felt like I was carrying this relationship. And it's like, you bombarded me with let's be together forever. So why am I now the one carrying this relationship? So
was he drunk when he said that?
No.
Oh,
So like I am very good at communicating. I can speak my mind like no other. I'm gonna tell you exactly how I feel. I might even tell you how you feel if you're scared to fucking use your words. Okay, I'm gonna pull it out of you. So I told him how I felt. I told him the things that were bothering me. I told him the issues that I was having within the relationship, and I told him ways that he can do better. And when that didn't happen week 1, I'm like, when it didn't happen week 2, I voiced it again. And then a couple of days later, I was just like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just remove myself from the situation. So I broke it off, and I got the tattoo covered, and life goes on. What's next?
Did you tell your daughter about this? What did she say when you were like,
mad.
I'm getting married?
She was mad.
I know she was. She's like,
She was like, who the fuck is this nigga?
Right.
You ain't married, bitch. She's grown. She's 27. She just turned 27. Like
Yeah.
last Sunday. So like, she's like, and we live together. She just moved back in with me after not living with me since college. She was living in New York, and she moved back to Atlanta. So she's been with me since April. And we have, you know, it's my baby. It's my child. We're like sisters, you know. We were just out the other day, and she's like, Mom, look. And the lady was like, Mom, I thought that was your friend. And like, yeah, so we have that close of a relationship to where as though she was like, bitch, how dare you? You know, she really turned into a 12-year-old. Like, what you mean, marry? You leaving? You moving out? Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
So a part of her problem was that I didn't have a conversation with her before I kind of announced it to the world. So she found out with everybody else on social media. And I should have had that conversation with her. But I was in the moment, and I wasn't thinking about my child being my child because she's grown. So I wasn't thinking about the mother-daughter aspect. I was caught up in the moment. So yeah, she did not. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure she's happy that it's over because she was not here for it. Okay?
And that was probably a bullet dodged.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Talking about
Girl,
let's get married after 3 days.
I don't want to say anything bad about him because positive thoughts and positive minds bring positive things. But there were some red flags that I may have ignored that are waving, like blowing in the wind currently. So I'm like, whoo.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness. Okay. So I wanted to talk a little bit about Lil Wayne.
We is the F baby, and the F is for phenomenal. That's my friend. The F is for friend. He's my friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
But a friend with benefits. Like
There was a time when we were having sex,
Mhm.
and a lot of it. Yeah, a lot of ecstasy
How did
pills.
y'all meet?
Through a friend, we were having sex.
Uh-huh.
There was this girl that I was friends with, and we was looking on each other's coochies, and
Like good friends do.
Yeah, and she was she had a little situation with Wayne.
Did she tell you who it was, or you just showed up and it was Wayne?
No. She had a situation with him, and she's like, "I want to bring you with me," you know.
Mhm.
So we went, and then he's like, "Oh, hi, I like you." So we continued on seeing each other, and then I brought another friend along, and they continued on seeing each other, and he is somebody that I will always have a fondness for outside of him being Lil Wayne, like.
Mhm.
Dwayne Michael Carter, like I know that man. I know him as a friend. I know him as a father. Our kids went to the same elementary school,
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
and we went to like a school, like a school performance or something one morning at like 8:00 in the morning, high on pills. And my daughter was like, "You tried it." She was like in the 5th grade, and she was like, "You hear it, Wayne?" But
So-
yeah,
What was the sex like with him?
I always
Sex-
imagine sex with Wayne is good because he's probably really nasty.
sex with him is good. He's very small, like we're like the same size, like body proportions.
Mhm.
But you know what they say about the little 5'5"ers? They're like tripods. So,
Mhm.
and we was on ecstasy a lot, honestly. So, and drinking a lot. So there was a lot of, drug fuel, just threesomes and stuff. But he actually wrote my name in a song, and literally the whole verse is about me, but the line is, "My bitch named Gigi suck my dick. I be like, goodness gracious, fuck."
So you suck
he
dick
explains
very well.
right there what our sex was like. There was times where I literally had that man like running up the headboard, and he said that my G stood for goodness gracious, which is why he put that. He would tell me that all the time, like, your G stands for goodness gracious. But yeah.
Do you have any tips for me? I was
Sucking
gonna say
dick?
yeah.
Enjoy it.
Okay.
Learn to love it.
Do you have any
You're
tips?
always good at what you love.
Do you have tips for your jaws not getting tired?
Because that's my problem.
That's real, because I'm good
Cheat code.
until I start getting tired.
Then it's like I gotta rest these cheeks.
Cheat code. The tip of a man's penis
Mhm.
is where all of the nerve endings are.
But they be wanting you to go further.
They do want you to
Yeah.
go further, and you can. But the cheat code is to get it all nice and wet, get the hands working the shaft, and then you work your lips and your tongue on the tip like a sucking in and licking. That drives them crazy. That's like one of my go-tos. Like if I feel like I'm sucking dick too long and I want him to hurry up and come, I'll go with that motion, both hands real sloppy and on the tip and sucking and licking just with the tip. They go crazy for that.
Oh,
Yeah.
and what about if you want to play with the balls? What should we be doing with them? Because sometimes I'm down there
Gently.
playing with them, but I'm just
What you do with
You
your
rub
hand?
them and you massage them, lick your hand,
Get
get
'em
them wet. Just don't tug them or squeeze them too hard because they're very gentle. You don't
I
wanna
like
hurt
to try and put them in my mouth.
Put them in
too
your
when
mouth.
my
Yeah.
jaw
So
gets
she was
tired.
going play with, but yeah, when you sucking dick and all of that, and I like to try to put both in my mouth at the same time. It's like a challenge. And then
Yeah.
moan a little bit. Noise. They love noise.
Mhm.
They love noise. Go extra. Go porn star with the noise when giving head, and eye contact as well. They love for you to look them in their eyes while you sucking their dick.
I'm gonna try that tonight.
Yeah,
I
girl.
feel like when
Circle
you do
back,
that,
let me
it's
know.
like
Shoot me a text tomorrow. Let me know how it goes.
Like, girl.
I feel like it's like you casting a spell on them whenever
Yes,
you
love
do
spell.
that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you talked a little bit in the beginning, and we had a conversation before we started recording about your last dance.
Oh yes, Last Dance. But before we get into that, I do want to give Wayne props on helping me with my name. That's something that I've spoken about before. We were on the bus one time and we were listening to unreleased music. And at the time I just went by Gigi. And he's like, Gigi Maguire, show me the money. And I'm like, Gigi Maguire, show me the money. And he was like, yes, that's dope. Like, keep that shit.
Yeah.
So I was having a birthday party very shortly after that. I was in a planning process of what my theme was going to be. So I actually made my theme Gigi versus Gigi Maguire. So Gigi was like the bubbly pink tutu, 2 ponytail girl. Lollipop was the song at the time. So I think it was like around 07, 08. And Gigi Maguire was the business button up black pencil skirt with the silver briefcase and the glasses and the real studious boss power. And so I did that whole Gemini play off of, remember when Derek Blanks was doing all those alter ego shoots? So it was around that time. So I went with that whole thing of Gigi versus Gigi Maguire. And I had lollipops and it was a whole big thing. But yeah, shout out to Wayne for that.
Shout out to Wayne for that. I mean, when we get these clips, if we cut this as a clip, you might as well send it to him so hopefully he watches CockTales already. But if you don't, bro, hey.
And I haven't seen him in probably like 10 years. So it was like, I always imagine, because places where I know that we might be at the same time, I'd be like, I wonder what he'll do if he's seen me.
I do too.
There was a time that he saw me unexpectedly and kissed me in my mouth, and I was...
You want to share?
I talk about that on lip service, and I never say who it was, so I guess I can split the tea. But yeah, so the rapper that kissed me in my mouth in front of my boyfriend was Lil Wayne.
Wait, in front of your boyfriend?
He didn't know. And we hadn't seen each other for maybe 2 years, and he just saw me and was like, my bitch! And he ran over to me and kissed me, and I was just like...
That's a cocky
Now,
ass.
what's your boyfriend say or do?
At the time? Oh, he was pissed.
Mm-hmm.
And this was before he put my name in the song. The name came after. So like 2 years later. So
that reminded
same
him.
boyfriend. So yeah, it was a problem. But moving on.
My boyfriend would be done. He'd be like, yeah, no, this is Wayne is just running it.
No, that would be a bad, sad day. Okay, so the last dance. That's what you're
We're
talking
going to
about.
be re-releasing your last dance.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Why?
So
how? What?
Last dance happened December 10th, 2011. And it happened because I was the Beyonce of Magic City. I was Beyonce of Strip. And when I decided to leave, it was because boyfriend at the time is a music executive, and he's from New York, and he just wasn't really feeling my girlfriend is the queen of Strip in Atlanta. He just was not feeling the fact that any one of his rapper clients could come into Magic City and see elbows and booty holes whenever they felt like doing so. And so after a brief conversation, we decided that I would quit. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go have one last Monday night. So I went in and I go straight to management, and I'm like, I quit. Like, no shade, but it's my last day. And they're like, fuck, why? And I'm like, I'm moving on. I'm going to teach full time. Because I had already started teaching pole dancing. So I'm like, I'm going to open a studio. I'm going to teach full time. I'm going to try to elevate and move on from this life. And so he's like, you just can't walk away. Like, you are Maguire. Like, you have to give the people, the family, the fans, the friends something.
Like, you got to say bye.
Yeah,
You just did.
Yeah, you can't just, like, we have to commemorate your life here and Magic, like, with something. Let's have a party. So I had this party, and the reason why I named it The Last Dance, first of all, I am the queen of themes. Like, I come from the theatrical world. I come from ballet. I come from dance recitals. I come from plays. I come from that Broadway-esque lifestyle, so to say. And so every time I had a birthday party, I went all out with the themes. So I looked at this the same way. Like, what is my theme going to be? Dance for You by Beyonce had just came out.
Love
the
that
video
song.
with the choreography with the chair and all of that. And I wanted to recreate the iconic Jennifer Beal flash dance scene when she pulled the string in the water, falls down on her sitting on the chair. So I mixed the two together. I did the Beyonce choreography, and I ended it with the string pull. 2001s and glitter confetti came falling down on me. And I named the party Last Dance because Flash Dance was the theme, but it was my last dance. So I literally recreated the Last Dance DVD cover for my promo shoot, and I covered Flash with Last, and I named it Last Dance. Now here we are 12, 13 years later, and P. Valley made Last Dance, basically the storyline of their first 2 seasons with their main character, who I'm clearly a muse for. Jessica Dime, that's my girl. When she did her Love and Hip Hop seasons, that was part of her storyline. She had just had her last dance in Miami. Like, you literally can scroll down Instagram on the Explore page and see a flyer for a random girl in some small hick town having a last dance. Like, that has become a thing so much that just last week, one of my girls I used to bartend with at Rain decided that it would be her last day, and she had a last call party.
That's the name of our tour.
That's the name of our tour.
The last
call tour, period. So Last Dance, first of all,
did you know that a lot of people, everybody in the city was going to show up? Did you know that?
No, I did not. I literally, that night was mind-blowing. It was amazing. The turnout, the performance, the support.
Who were some big names that you can remember that was there?
Of course, Angela was there. Roxy Reynolds was there. Wow. It was so many people. Like, it was a few ball players in the building.
Were you
nervous?
nervous?
Atlanta notables in the building. A few dope boys.
Was Gigi there?
Money. Gigi was not there.
Okay.
No. But nervous, no. I wasn't nervous. It was a emotional night. There was some beef between me and a couple of my crewmates. The 2 members of the snack pack who were the sneaky strippers decided last minute that they were not doing my performance.
What?
Yeah.
How you just gonna quit?
Yeah, they quit on me like literally at the 12th hour because they found out that they weren't going to have a set after me. So they weren't going to get there 2 o'clock. Because remember, we had 12 o'clock and 2 o'clock. So I essentially came in and took over 2 o'clock. So they weren't going to have a 2 o'clock. So they decided that they're not doing my performance because they weren't be able to.
Now, had they done the performance with you, would you have split the money with them?
No.
Oh, would you
I
have like
kept
tipped them out? Or
I kept
that's not how. Okay,
yeah,
we don't know the
thing
thing because they.
So here's the thing.
Like, ma'am.
So
where's
in the strip world, and really quick because I know we kind of press for time. In the strip world, we have what we call birthday sets. I'm sure y'all been to the club and y'all seen somebody have a birthday set. Everybody has a birthday. If you decide to celebrate your birthday in the club and you have a birthday set, every girl who somewhat fucks with you is going to get on your stage set, and all of the money that gets thrown on said stage set goes to the birthday girl. So I looked at Last Dance as a birthday set.
Okay.
This was my last time on this. We have been Snack Pack for 4 or 5 years. I have been splitting money with y'all and getting money with y'all 12 o'clock and 2 o'clock, 5 days a week for 4 or 5 years. I hadn't been here for 6 months. I left in June. Last Dance was in December. So for 6 whole months, y'all ain't had to split $1 with me. It went from 5 of us to 4 of us because I left. Y'all already been making money without me for 6 months. And for the rest of y'all lives as Snack Pack, y'all are going to continue to make money without me. Y'all can't give me this one day. And it wouldn't be no Snack Pack without me. Ooh. Point blank period. When
so
I
was acting
when
like
I
Latoya
left,
and
when I left after when I left when I left and went to Philly for a while after me and JoJo, after she decided she didn't want to dance no more, me and Fierce, they tried to create a little crew, but it wasn't official. They were still in the rotation with General Pop. They just signed in together and went on stage together. So whatever time around the clock that they landed on stage is when they landed on stage. It wasn't official 12 and 2 until I came back. So again, there would be no Snack Pack without Gigi Maguire. So you can't give me one set. You can't give me one, not even a whole night. Because y'all had y'all 12 o'clock. Y'all went on stage at 12 o'clock. Not to mention, everybody in this building is here for me. Y'all made y'all 12 o'clock money. But literally, let me tell y'all what happened. Pulled the string. Last couple of seconds. Lights come on. The whole club clears out at 2:30. When you ever seen Medinah City close at 2:30?
Right.
Y'all wouldn't have had a set anyway.
Yeah. Well.
So yeah, that was the only issue. Oh, and then my outfit broke. Literally, I had like a slingshot. You know what a slingshot is? So I had a slingshot bikini made with like the invisible those rubber strings, and literally I'm putting on my clothes to go on stage, and the string popped. So I had to borrow an outfit from one of my homegirls. I literally did my Last Dance, like not the Beyonce part, because I did an outfit change, but the first part, the 2-piece bikini that I have on, was borrowed from one of my stripper friends.
Do you miss dancing?
I do. I miss the fun part of it. I miss the money, of course. But I miss the girls. I miss the party vibes. I miss, dance is therapy for me. I dance in my room. I have a pole in my room, and I will turn the lights off and put some music on and just dance in my room to get that out of me. This is like therapy. So when I feel like I just want to dance, then I'll do that. But I would literally dance on stage with my eyes closed because I was such in a zone. And so I miss that part of it. Honestly, when I moved back to Atlanta in 2019, if the money was still the same, I would have came back like Jordan wearing the 4 or 5.
Well, I'm glad you say if the money was still the same, because I wanted to ask you, what do you think the difference is for dancers now versus when you were dancing? Because the last time I went to Magic City, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't have fun. No shade to Magic, I love it. But the last time I went, I was like, oh, it's so different. It's just not different. A vibe anymore. Nobody was even in there.
In my opinion.
And the girls were just walking around shaking their thighs like this.
Yeah.
So it was very lazy.
In my opinion, we have a few factors. We have social media. Girls are putting their booty cheeks on sinks left and right down your timeline for free. We have OnlyFans. You can get a girl like me, because I'm on OnlyFans. You can find me at GigiMaguire.com. You can get a girl like me or your favorite stripper or your favorite porn star to actually make you custom content for the right price. Or you can subscribe and see whatever sexy content they decide to put on their timeline. And then twerk is such a epidemic in our lives and culture these days. Everybody's twerking everywhere. So you don't have to pay to see a bitch shake her ass no more.
You can see it at the CockTales show.
Hello? You can twerk anywhere now.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not exclusive. And last but not least, and I've said this in plenty of interviews, and the little stripper girlies get on me. I don't care. OG Mother is giving it to you the way I give it to you, straight, raw, and uncut. They removed the fantasy. They are not giving fantasy. These new age strippers are rapping and shooting guns on stage. They're not stripping.
Sexy.
They're not giving fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
They're wearing fishnets and wigs, and they all got the same body, and they all do the same moves, and they aren't providing the fantasy. They aren't talking to you. They walk up to you and just start dancing in front of you. What
There's
happened
no eye
to the
contact.
woo?
Yeah.
There's no woo anymore. They're not wooing anymore. There's no fantasy involved. Like, they're not selling sensuality. They're just shaking ass, and they expect this make it rain. They expect to be dancing in puddles just because. And it's like, what are you doing to earn this? What are you doing to make me want to blow the bank on you? You're not providing any type of fantasy for me. Men come to the strip club for a few reasons, mainly to get away from what they got going on at home. They don't want to hear about your problems. They don't want to hear about your baby daddy. They don't want to know that you got rent due tomorrow. They don't want it to feel transactional. They want to be mesmerized by a woman who they know if they didn't have a handful of ones, they would never have their time. You get what I'm saying? They want that fantasy woman that they know that if they met you at Lennox, you would walk the fuck right past them and wouldn't give them the time of day. They feel like they can come into this club and they can get something, and it is transactional, but they don't want it to feel that way. And the girls these days just don't provide the fantasy. That's my best way of putting it. They do not provide the fantasy.
I feel that.
They
and
no
I see
longer
that.
provide the fantasy.
Yeah, it's definitely different being in the strip club.
They
As
too-
of late.
You know?
And it's just like,
it's
you're
not-
just there. Like,
you
I
know,
can
we
do what
was-
you doing.
Yeah, y'all was doing a little snake
Dance
roll,
with you.
a little walk and touch, and y'all
Yeah,
was smelling
sensual,
good.
And
sexy.
then, like, clubs that still have the poles, a lot of the girls don't work the pole. They
So
just
let me
walk
tell you.
around it.
And do
Let me
that
tell you something
thigh
about
shake.
the
Yeah.
thigh shake. Yes. So let me tell you about pole dancing. Any club, anywhere in the world, 10% of the girls do pole. That's anywhere. Every dancer does not do pole tricks.
Yeah, but I feel like the
Every
girls aren't doing
dancer
it, period. Like,
is
nobody.
not every
like,
dancer
they don't
is
have that draw
is not
at the
a
club.
performer. And when you have dancers who are performers with no personality. You have dancers who have the amazing body and don't know what to do with it. You have dancers who have both. That was me. I built this body. I didn't have this body at first. I started 110 pounds in an A cup. And I learned very quickly after getting my titties done that I needed ass too. So I had talent, I had personality, and then I bought the body. And once I bought the body, now I am the trifecta. Now I am standing alone. There are girls who can probably dance better than me that don't have my personality or my looks. There are girls who are probably prettier than me that don't have the talent. You get what I'm saying? But when you have it all, then you are set apart. And that's something that I can be big-headed and say that I actually had. And I had to get there. I didn't come to Magic City with it all. You know, it took some years for me to get there. And that wasn't even my goal. I didn't come to Magic City like, oh, I'm finna take over this club. I'm finna be the it girl. I'm finna be the one. I just came in and did me. And it just so happened to organically happen that way. Like, literally to this day, I walk in that club and they have a documentary. I narrated their 3-part documentary. It's literally right now being shot to all of the major networks. It's executive produced by Drake and Jermaine Dupri. And it's a big deal. Every major rapper, major athlete is in this documentary. And it's really going to shed light on Strip, on the city of Atlanta, on Magic himself and that family that we all know and love as the Barney family. And that again is a full circle moment for me because Magic City changed my life the first time I stepped foot in that club. This is going to change my life again on a level where right now I do interviews like this and I speak on my own podcast about my experiences at Magic City. And sometimes people might think it's cap. They be in the comments like, bitch, you ain't make 28,000. Bitch, you ain't, Jeezy.
One thing they gonna do in the comments is hate.
They gonna hate. But now you have Big Magic, Little Magic, Jermaine Dupri, Drake, Nelly, Bow Wow, Future, 2 Chainz, Jeezy, T.I., Quavo, telling these same stories because they was there. So now it's like, bitch, Cap where?
If someone wanted to like have a private party and they were like, we want you to come perform. We know you don't dance anymore, but is there a price that they could give you that would make you come do it?
Yes.
It's
definitely a 5-digit price, but I would do it.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah.
That would be so dope.
I
I want to
would.
be invited to that party.
I would.
If it's
I
not me
definitely would.
throwing
Yeah.
it.
If
It's not me throwing it.
The only thing that's stopping me from right now being back on the stage is that it's just not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I make that money on OnlyFans,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm barely even like I'm slacking there. Like I could really put more effort into OnlyFans and make even more money, but I just really honestly don't even be feeling like.
Have you ever thought about doing porn?
No.
Good.
No.
Now, what kind of stuff do you do on your OnlyFans?
It's very stripper. It's very titties, ass, twerk videos. I have a pole in my house. Now, when it comes to my custom videos, I am doing I'm doing dick rates. I'm doing masturbation videos. I'm doing self-play videos. I might pull out a toy if you ask me to.
The dick rate videos, that means the men pay to have you
So they send me a picture. They send me a peen pic. And I sit topless with peen pic in front of me. And I talk about it for however long they pay me to talk about it. And I'm very brutal and honest. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. And I'm going to tell you what I need you to do and get you some homework and maybe come back and see me. And that starts at $150 a minute.
We might be doing
I was just about to say, we might not be topless, but maybe we don't have to have a bra on, just like a little wife beater. I would definitely tell you about your dick. Because they sending them anyway.
They are, and they're asking for advice on them. And it's like,
that
I don't
might
ever
need to
say
be a
anything.
Patreon exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I don't do that I need to get into is I need to do JOIs, which is jerk off instructions. I haven't gotten that far yet.
Wow.
Yeah. But I'm nude and I'm giving body, I'm giving sexy. You know, I don't post like that on Instagram. I post lip service and I post on planes and I post wherever city I'm in and whatever work related situation I'm doing. I've never been the thong on the sink girl.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get all of that on my OnlyFans.
Yeah, it's not gonna be on the gram. Okay.
Miss Show Me the Money, GigiMaguire.com.
I would love to attend one of your pole classes. Are you still
So
doing that?
there's a studio here in Atlanta that I am affiliated with. I have not. I booked a party, but I had to end up canceling it because I had to end up going to Vegas for iHeart Festival, and it's been postponed. I'm supposed to come up with a new date, but
if you do it, please let us know.
Yeah.
I would love
to
host it.
I would. Y'all should host it.
Oh my gosh!
Yes,
we would. Yes, we can
host
make
it
it a whole thing.
A whole thing.
Because one thing, I'm not a great dancer, but I love pole. I'm not good at it, but I do love the environment.
Fun.
Yeah,
and it makes you feel confident.
Yes, confidence is sexy, and it's the best workout for a woman. It's full body. And it's not as hard as it looks.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
You are already like a professional dancer.
And that's the thing. When you are a professional dancer, when you have a technical dance background, when you have a gymnastics background, or when you have a cheerleading background, you're kind of like a ringer. Because you're already flexible, you're already strong, you already can do splits, you already have balance, you already have, know your lines.
The basics.
You already have that foundation. So when you add a little, on top of that,
I can't. Let us know when you're doing this because we would love to.
We're going to plan it.
We're going to have to practice.
Yeah.
No, we'll plan it. And we'll do some classes before this.
So we can
be ready.
And we can record it and everything.
We can make it a whole
wonderful
thing.
We did this one time with our patrons. I don't remember what it was called, but do you remember when we did the
it was the
ropes.
aerial silks class.
Yes. It was.
Where was it?
It was off of... It was toward North Druid Hills, but it wasn't off of North Druid Hills.
It wasn't. It was like going up 85. I don't remember the name of that place.
I don't, but it's Black owned.
Maybe Polities?
I think
that sounds like
Polities.
I think
that sounds like Polities.
Because they had
It was Polities. I thought you said Qualities. It was Polities.
Polities. Yeah, I'm very familiar with all of the pole studios here because, of course, I used to own one.
It was amazing. We invited our patrons. We made it a whole thing. We had a videographer come.
We'll do that.
That would be amazing.
And then we did a promo for our live shows, our Dirty Little Secrets tour, the last one that we did. And we went to KOD, the one on the south side. And we dressed up like strippers.
Yes.
And we did all these different, we had like all these different outfits. And we were in there.
That.
But it was crazy because whenever they had music playing, the club wasn't open, of course. We were just there doing the shoot. And I'm really trying to get in character.
So
I about felt,
shit?
Yes. But
so
they had Usher playing. And I'm like, where is Jeezy at? I need to hear the trap music.
Where's the trap music?
That was so much fun.
So let me turn podcaster interviewer and ask you, being in these stripper clothes and in the stripper environment, how did that make you feel being a regular? We call y'all square girls.
Yeah, and I am
so
a square.
being a regular square
First of
girl,
all, I felt,
and not no shade, but just compared to a stripper, y'all are the regulars. You know, women who don't dance, the civilian hoes.
Yeah.
So being that, how did it make you feel in full stripper, like in the whole environment, even though
it made me
wasn't
feel
the
like I
actual
need
club?
to work out, one, because I was tired and walking in those shoes, and even just trying to dance. Like, how can you dance for a whole song? But I still felt like sexy, and it felt it just felt different. Yeah. And it's just like to walk out of from the back and just all these people, wasn't nobody there but our crew, but like if the club was packed and it's all these people looking at you and the confidence you have to do that and like perform and try to seduce people and get paid and still do it even when the money's
it's
not.
a lot. And this is what people don't realize about entertainers. I really like to use that word over strippers because strippers just get such a bad connotation. It leaves such a bad taste in people's mouths. And when you are truly an entertainer, I like to say there's a difference between strippers and entertainers. A stripper is going to two-step and twerk and just be, you know, very monotone, blah. An entertainer is going to perform and give you talent and personality and really give you an enjoyable experience on and off stage in a way where with myself, 90% of the time that I was on stage, I never even got naked, but nobody noticed because they were so enthralled by this illustrious performance that I was giving that they didn't even notice that they might've seen a nipple, but they wasn't seeing no coochie because guess what? I'm not putting my pussy on the pole or the floor. Girls do it all the time and I be cringe.
I always wondered, how does everybody feel sliding up and down the juices? Even though sometimes the girls come with the towel. It's like,
they come with the towel. They come with the towel. It's alcohol. And the alcohol is not only for the germs from the other ladies' secretions and body sweat and all of that, but also for the oil. You're more likely to see a pole girl wipe the pole down before you see a regular two-stepping stripper wipe a pole down because they don't care if the pole is greasy because they're not about to climb that motherfucker. But a pole girl, we need the pole to not be greasy. And girls is putting on baby oil gel. So they come with their greasy hands and they touch the pole. And so when we come on before the stage, not only do we wipe it down with alcohol, we also use some grip. There's a powder grip, there's a spray grip, there's a cream grip, there's all types of pole grip these days. So we wipe the pole down with alcohol to cut the oil, and then we use pole grip to make it back sticky so that we can actually have that grip that we need. But these girls these days, they doing splits and they doing their pussies on the pole, and that's just never been me. Yeah. So if I did take my panties off at one point, if somebody throw a certain amount of money, of course you got to get all the way naked. But I would take the G-string off and wrap it around my wrist like a scrunchie. And as soon as I'm ready to go back up on the pole, I'm putting them motherfuckers right back on because I am not putting this pussy on the pole. Never have, never would. I don't even put my pussy on my own pole. And it's mine.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. It would feel weird, I would think too.
These girls, like everybody's using this. For some reason, I don't understand why these girls don't think that they don't have that thought process. Like I be in the club watching girls, and I be like,
they just trying to try to see the money. They're just like, can you just hurry up and throw the money, please? I got my vagina out. You know,
and the sad part about it is going to why the club is not the same because they feel like that's all they need. They feel like I'm naked, bitch. Everybody naked. Do something to make me feel good. In my St. Louis voice. Like, wow me. Do something to make me want to go in my pocket and give you my money. Because I'm not obligated to do so. And that's the problem. They're so like, he came in here, he better spend some money. Girl, make him.
Yeah. I love to hear it. Well, when we do our entertainer class, let's put all of that into it.
We are doing
Teach us how to seduce.
Yes.
Be sexy and confident.
Tips for that. The things to say, how to look, how to stand.
All of it.
I can't wait. Okay, I guess on that note, we're going to move on to Indecisive Diane. And when we come back, we're going to have an advice letter read. And Gigi's going to help give y'all some advice.
I'm here for that.
Would you stop thinking about what everyone wants? Stop thinking about what I want, what he wants, what your parents want. What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want? What do you want?
Hey, ladies. Boy, do I have the ultimate Valentine's Day experience for you. So go ahead and plan your 2024 now. It can be a vacation or it can be a Galentine's Day. Paradise and Vibe and Medinah Monroe are taking over Brazil for Carnival. February 12th through February 20th. Go to paradiseandvibe.com right now to secure your spot. And check this out. They have payment plans. Bye.
Okay, you guys, and we are back from Indecisive Diane, and it is time for the advice. If you have a question that you would like to ask us on the show, make sure you email us, advice@cocktailspod.com. Okay, the subject on this one is inconsistent dick. Hey ladies, just want to say I love the show, and since becoming a listener, my sex life has definitely improved. It's definitely allowed me to let go a lot of my prudish ways and explore more sexually. So for that, I will say thank y'all.
You're welcome.
Here's my situation. I have a friends with benefits situation with a younger guy in his mid-20s. I'm in my early 40s. I guess you could say I'm a cougar. I'm not looking for a relationship with him. He's just my tune-up babe. He's the first guy that's ever made me squirt, and I didn't think I could. The dick is great. My issue is he's not a dependable friends with benefit. There are times when I want to fuck, but he has all these excuses and things to do. To name a few of some of the excuses have been, had to help someone move, spending time with my family. Like, girl, wait, what? Fraternity meeting, etc. Like, you can't come late night after all that because that's when I'm usually free anyway. I know there's something else he's not telling me, and he swears he's single, so he says it's not another woman. I know he lives at home with his parents. So I wonder if they are strict on his movement if it's late night. It frustrates me to no end because he basically comes over when he can. It's almost as if when he has permission to leave the house or something. He tries to gaslight me whenever I call him out on it. I've decided to cut him off because the dick is just too sporadic and I need someone more consistent. I only second guess my decision when I'm horny. My question is, should I completely cut ties and find some new dick? Or give it one more shot, but set some ground rules for the dick appointments. And if he doesn't abide by them, block that nigga. Sign, don't want no inconsistent dick.
She want dick on demand.
She does. You gotta pay,
you want dick on
baby.
demand. You want dick on demand from somebody that's not your man. And it's given that he's somebody else's man. Does he have kids? Because he probably live at home with his baby mama. That's what it's given.
That could
he said
be
he lived with his parents. It's given he lived with his baby mama. Or either that, or either he's just super single and you are just on the roster. Yeah. When you are in a friends with benefits situation,
that's
you need
literally your position.
Yeah. When you are in a friends with benefits situation, you need to know your position and play that.
You cannot expect him to do that. Yeah. Like, he's not your boy toy.
No.
And you're not paying this nigga.
And that's what it's
a
given.
20-year
with
age
the age
gap.
difference. So I'm 44. And the men that are knocking down my DMs right now are between the ages of 23 and 33. And
how do you feel about that?
It's weird AF because my daughter is 27. My niece is 26. My niece works for me as my assistant. So we're very much a unit together, the three of us. We're around each other a lot. I'm like both of their mom. And it's just like, I don't want to be fucking on somebody that I know they could be fucking on. The flip side of that coin is I'm only 17 and 18 years older than them. So as they get older, the age gap kind of gets a little smaller, you know? They're closer and closer to my age range. And not my daughter because she's just not that girl, but my niece she's a dancer. She works at Cheetah and Pink Pony. And she is meeting guys that are in my age range and they're dating, older guys. So it's kind of like we're swimming in the same pond, and it's weird to me. It's not weird to her, but it's weird to me because first of all, I've always been into older guys. I've had a, little young John here and there, I had a little young boy here and there, but I don't see, at this point in my life, I'm dating for a purpose. And I mean, friends with benefits is cool because, we need dick when we need dick. But at the same time, I don't see a 20-something being somebody that I'm going to be with forever.
As he doesn't see that he's going to be forever with you, Miss Ma'am. It's supposed to be sporadic.
It's supposed to be fun.
It is what it is. And if she's not cool with what it is, then she need to move on to something else because clearly this is not for her.
Add something else to your roster.
Yeah,
add a couple other people to your roster so you're not just relying on him. Because that baby live with his mama. He
live with his mama or his baby mama.
He's still going to his frat meetings and stuff.
He's trying to get his life together.
Like, come on, he's probably looking for jobs. Hopefully.
She want a dick schedule from the 20s.
Right. But she older. She's like, I've got to work and I need to, but you need to find somebody else.
Yeah, and get a vibrator, okay? Something to hold you over. Okay, that's all the advice, I think.
It is. I just put one. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the cocktails. Gigi, this is what I was telling you about before we started recording. The cocktails is the part of the show where we share a story related to sex, dating, or relationships. It can be funny, it can be embarrassing, it can be romantic, it can be rich, it could be wet, juicy, and nasty. It's whatever you pick.
Once upon a time, not long ago, I was a hoe.
So listen, you got your story.
Yes, the Maserati G story. So there was a time when I was dancing in Miami, and the clubs in Miami stay open till 6 in the morning. So I had this little situationship that we did have sex maybe once or twice before said day. But, you know, I was young and, you know, outside, you live my life. So he came to pick me up from the club. Saturday night now turns into Sunday morning. We are driving on 95 North in Miami, 7 a.m. on a sunny Sunday morning, and I start sucking his dick. So then he's like, ride it. Like, come on, like, get on. So I'm like,
while he's driving,
we're on 95.
That's a weird sex story.
We're on 95. So he's like, yeah, come, like, you know, jump on his dick. So I'm like, okay, like, don't tempt me with a good time. You don't call my bluff because I'm ride. So literally, I rolled. So I'm facing, like, I'm like cowgirl riding. So at one point, I take the wheel and I'm steering, and he has the pedal and he's driving and I'm riding, and it's so good. Like, I'm completely naked by this point. I don't care if people can see us. I don't know if the tent dark enough. You can see through the windshield. I don't give a damn. That shit was so good. It was so good that I purposely made that the last time that we ever had sex, because how we gonna top that? How we gonna top Maserati G riding the dick in reverse cowgirl while steering the car 7 a.m. on 95 North on a Sunday morning? People
and then you live to tell about it.
Hello,
because when it's weird sex, some people be running to trees.
We was risking our lives
and
for
then
that
reverse
nut.
Cowgirl while somebody's driving. You can't even adjust how much dick is in you. You gotta let it all in.
It was one of them grind. It was one of them all the way in and grind. You know, one of them. Ooh.
Oh, I might need to try that. But
it was so long ago, and it's still one of the best. I gotta say that was the best sexual experience I ever had. And not to say that the sex was the best sex I ever had, but the full experience of it was definitely the best sexual experience I ever had.
Yeah, that's a wild one.
That's a wild one. And you got long legs, so I'm like, how did you crawl over and get situated?
Be tight.
Girl.
Was he little?
He was not a very tall man, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you like little men?
Not really. I just always seem to end up with them for some reason. Now that because my 60-day fiance wasn't really tall. My ex before him, we stood the same size at like flat foot. Like we were like eye to eye, flat foot. But my long-term relationship that I was in for 11 years with Record Exec Bay, he was like 6'4". So I don't really think that I have like said type. I'm more of a personality, more of a swag, like, you know, what type of person are you, you know, more than like what you look like.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, Gigi, that was an amazing cocktail.
Yes, it was. It was very good.
So cool.
If you have anything that you want to share with our listeners, anything you have going on, how they can keep up with you, now would be the time to let them know.
At Gigi Maguire is how you find me on Instagram. And Twitter, even though I'm not really on Twitter that much. I need to get my TikTok game up. I'm working on that. I do have a TikTok, but it's I don't use it. There's probably like one post on there. But I have some things brewing. Like we talked about, my last dance. I am it has been remastered. So it's updated. The footage of the actual performance is edited down to just myself in a snack pack because we have to protect the innocent. This was 12, 13 years ago. Girls don't dance no more. It was pussy showing, it's nudity.
Oh,
you know, I have
so
to respect my G's and like not, you know, put them out there like that.
They're like, bitch, I am a lawyer now.
Exactly. It's updated video of me currently at Medinah City, like vibing, day in the life, lip service, day in the life. I do an interview. I got Virgo coming in to do an interview. Virgo is Kelly. Okay. Yeah. I have her coming in to do an interview.
She was part of the snack pack.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And she's also an actress on P-Valley, her and Simone.
And you were on P-Valley.
Yeah, I did episode 5 of season 2, the Legends Ball. So Jocelyn Hernandez hosted a party when Mississippi comes on tour to Atlanta. She hosts this party called the Legends Ball.
I remember. I just had to go back and watch to spot you.
Yeah, Pink Boots. It's literally honoring myself, Tip Drill, Miami Tip, and Jessica Dime. Yeah, so we were written in a scripted TV series as ourselves. What's better than that? Yeah. Mind blowing. Like to this day. And I had a speaking line. Like
I bet when you got that call, you were like, wow.
Yeah. And guess who it came from? Who? My friends. Because Michelle, she is the assistant choreographer on P-Valley. So her job is to help with choreography and also to authenticate the script.
Wow.
So she comes with this is how we talk, this is what we say, this is what
Did
we
you
do.
get to meet
This is how shit
Mercedes?
would really go. Yes. I interviewed her and Brandy, that's my girl. I love her. My love bug. I interviewed her and Nico, which is Uncle Clifford. We interviewed them on Lip Service. And that's when I was able to spill the tea of me actually being on the episode. But yeah, so remastered Last Dance is literally in post right now. So it'll be coming really soon. I'm putting it on Patreon. So there will be a Patreon. I'm also going to start putting pole instructional videos and strip. I get a lot of girls. I see y'all DMs. I see y'all mentor me DMs. I see y'all I want to be a stripper DMs. I see y'all help me with my sexy DMs. You know, I got y'all. The game is to be sold, not told. So with that being said, I'm going to start putting that stuff on this Patreon that I've created. And but the Last Dance Remastered will be on Patreon. I'm gonna do a whole rollout for it. I'm so excited. I literally just left a meeting about it today with my team. So I'm so excited about that. Of course, the Magic City documentary will be coming to a major network. It's being shopped right now. There are some interests. I can't talk about them, but just know that the docuseries is completed. It's in post. It's an amazing body of work. I'm so grateful and appreciative to even be a part of it, let alone narrate all 3 episodes.
I can't wait to watch it.
I narrate and host the entire thing. So I'm happy about that. The book, Insatiable, is coming. It's about my life. It's a memoir. It's a story about my life, but it's also told from a mental health aspect because I've been through so many things, trauma and just life challenging situations that I've been able to overcome. And it made me something that you would not think would come out of that. Like I'm not bitter, broken, and battered. I am fabulous and fine and fun. And I am here to share my stories in a way that if I can help the next person who might be going through what I went through, get out of that or get through that. I could have easily made a superhead book with,
calling out all the celebrities.
But I would never because it's a secret society, all we extra trust. I've only ever mentioned Wayne because it's been so long ago, for one, and for two, he put my name in the song. So he mentioned me first.
So thieving.
Yeah, and that's my guy. Like, I haven't seen him in a long time, but, it's always love with me and him.
I love it.
Podcast. So Lip Service, I am not leaving Lip Service. However, since I came back here in 2019, I've been wanting to do my own podcast. But then COVID happened, and then other things happened. I lost my dad last year. I lost my puppy right after that, and I went through a little bit of grief, depression, and life was lifing. But and again, I also believe in everything happens for a reason in a timely manner when they're supposed to. So podcast coming soon. It's called Show Me the Money, and I'm going to be based in Atlanta. Interviews, that whole thing. Yeah. I'm excited about that because I finally get to share me in a way that I'm not able to do with Lip Service because I'm a co-host and we have guests. And I'm old. I'm 44. So I'm an 80s baby. I don't come from this social media life world where everything is filmed and everything is documented and put online. So I don't share as much of my personality and who I really am but behind the scenes with social media. So I feel like my podcast will be a way for me to do so.
I can't wait to hear it. Show Me the Money.
Yes. Show Me the Money podcast, book, Last Dance. I want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Oh, and OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, and OnlyFans, because y'all, for real, OnlyFans pay my bills besides Lip Service. So that's all I do. I go to Lip Service and I do OnlyFans. When I'm here in Atlanta, I'm at home. So if y'all ever need me to come back, one of y'all sick, y'all need me to send in co-host, call me. I'll be here. Just let me know. But yeah, I am very excited about what's to come. I'm thankful for you guys having me on today.
Thank you for coming.
I love to share. I'm an open book, as you can see. No holds barred with me. I am whatever this is what you get. Love me or leave me alone. Period.
We love you. Thank you so much for joining us. And we hope we can all connect to do that pole dance.
Girl, we doing it. We gonna figure it out. I'm
y'all heard it right here on CockTales.
Yeah, because I was already supposed to do it. So yeah, we gonna have to wait for that
when
foot
Kiki
to heal.
heals.
But yeah, we'll plan it out. We'll make it a big thing. We'll try to get some liquor sponsors. So we'll make it a big deal. Yeah. And I'm sure your listeners and your fans are gonna fucking love it. Yeah.
Well,
that'll be a good time.
Thank you so much, Gigi Maguire. Thank you guys for listening and watching. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. We're at CockTales Podcast. I'm at Coffee Bean Dean.
And I'm at Kiki Said So. And until next week, you guys.
Goodbye.
I'm sorry, but the person you called has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Goodbye. Bye. 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 Population. Goodbye. Bye. Bye. Wait on the drive. Bye. Bye.